In a world where climate change threatens not only our environment but also the foundations of peace, a group of young, passionate people dare to take action. They came together under the umbrella of SEI, a global network committed to peace, to form a team dedicated to one mission: advocating for climate justice. This team believed in the undeniable connection between peace and climate justice. They set out to build their skills, deepen their knowledge, and strengthen bonds between local communities through an international meeting space, because real change starts at home and ripple out into the world. When the opportunity arose to align their vision with the priorities of the European Youth Foundation, they seized it. At the end of 2023, the team's proposal, Peace for Nature, Participate in Environmental Activism through Civic Engagement for Nature, was granted funding. Peace for Nature was designed as a journey in 4 stages to empower these young advocates and amplify their impact. The first step began in June 2024 in Poland, where 25 young people passionate about climate justice came together. Over one transformative week, they shared experiences, exchanged ideas, and built a collective vision for a more just and sustainable future. With newfound inspiration and microfunding to support their efforts, participants returned to lead local actions. Over the next 5 months, they turned their knowledge into practice, organizing events, workshops, and campaigns at home. To keep the momentum alive, the team met online once a month from August to October. These virtual sessions were a space to reflect, learn, and support one another in their activism journeys. Alongside these activities, the team worked on something special: a toolkit for climate actions. This educational booklet captured their tools, best practices, and lessons learned, offering a guide for other youth eager to create change in their communities. The first step of the Peace for Nature project brought 25 participants from 14 countries together to explore climate justice, activism, and civic engagement. They learned about the interconnectedness of social and climate issues, effective ways to communicate climate change, and diverse forms of activism adaptable to their communities. During this transformative week, they dove deep into the complex web of climate and social issues, gaining a profound understanding on how they are all interconnected. They didn't just learn from experts, they learned from each other. Coming from diverse backgrounds and realities, every participant brought a unique perspective and methods of activism, creating a vibrant exchange of ideas that fueled their collective inspiration. This training wasn't just a week of learning, it was a spark that ignited action. Many participants left with a renewed sense of purpose and a commitment to continue the fight for climate justice.
Why we want to enter into the world of activism? This can be almost simple things, but in my opinion, it's important to question ourselves. It can help on gain greater awareness on ourselves, and also can help us understand better our motivation, why we are starting this, why we want to do this.
Social media at the moment, and you can find so many different research and surveys regarding that. They are the main component that is used to get information. The way climate information is presented, shared, or potentially censored on this platform can have far-reaching consequences for our public understanding, policy making, and ultimately to our response to climate change. The main fact to understand in this case is that if there is censorship, this means that at a certain point there is only one perspective that is allowed, that is shared, and it is recognized.
These are some things that you can do when in doubt. Okay, so first, the content itself. Read the whole article or watch the whole video. Does the headline match the content? Is it cohesive? Does it all make sense?
Like, I'll just start off with explaining what proposals and resolutions mean for us in this case, because obviously in different scenarios they have a bit of a different meaning. So I'll explain what are we actually talking about today.
Is that resolutions are binding. If a resolution is voted in, then all members of SCI agree to implement and follow up on that resolution.
The second stage of the Peace for Nature journey unfolded through 6 dynamic online meetings. These sessions connected youth from SCI and partner organizations, equipping them with organizational skills and insights into effective decision making. In the first meeting, we reflected on local actions, uncovering ways to improve and amplify their impact. In the second session, we focused on building a resource that could empower others. Together with the participants, we began crafting the Climate Action Toolkit, a guide designed to structure knowledge, share best practices, and inspire climate activism at all levels. In the third session, 3 inspiring activists shared their experiences and strategies for engaging with climate and activism networks. Their stories empowered participants to see their potential role in driving change. Advocacy was another key focus. Participants learned how to write impactful proposals, which led the climate team to submit a successful bid to become an official SCI working group. Later, 2 expert speakers helped us explore the link between climate civic engagement and disinformation, equipping participants with tools to identify and counter false narratives. The final session brought it all together. With the climate team, we co-created an action plan for 2025, focusing on capacity building, structural growth, and deeper involvement in SCI's climate initiatives. As part of our commitment to turning learning into action, we provided funding for local climate actions. These supported impactful projects, carried out both online and in person.
Today we have invited Yudi from Indonesia here, who will speak to us about the Debt for Climate struggle in Indonesia. First I will briefly introduce what we want to talk about. So very broadly, we will be talking about debt, the climate crisis, and colonialism or neo-colonialism. And the intention is to start a conversation to really uncover the connections between these 3 different themes.
Now, let's hear from some of the incredible young people who brought these activities to life.
Hi everyone, it's Ala from Palestine. I have participated in Peace for Nature project in Poland last year. After that, I had the opportunity to host an online talk about climate change in Palestine and what the Palestinians do for climate change. In that talk, I had the opportunity to host my mother. She is a local climate entrepreneur where she's leading 3 different projects on recycling and raising awareness among the community about the importance of recycling, also gathering women and active youth in the community to share with her this inspiring initiatives that she's looking forward to keep implementing different projects that can be implemented on the local level, considering the fact that it's very difficult to think about climate change when you're living under the occupation. However, and the good news that she managed to implement her first project, which is using some places to recycle cartoon. In addition to this, she's focusing on other 2 projects that are focused on clothes recycling and the house production, that all of these things can be useful and can be inspirational for the people in town who are interested in caring about the environment.
I'm Anna and I've been active with different SCI branches for the last years. With Debt for Climate Netherlands, we now organized an event about debt, colonialism and injustices. Our speaker Yudi from Indonesia explained how extractivism and foreign debt destroy the environment and local livelihoods, but also how people are resisting against these injustices. This adds to SCI's work on climate and the environment, which already links colonialism and climate breakdown, but adds a component of debt cancellation and focusing on the global financial architecture.
The project achieved impactful outcomes. We saw climate actions take root, submitted and passed a resolution for SCI to establish an official working group in climate, and participated in international discussions on climate and peace during the EPM 2024. Most importantly, we have a global team of 14 active members working to drive change. And now, as we look at the future, we are ready to kick off 2025 with passion and enthusiasm. Together, we've crafted a comprehensive action plan that focuses on capacity building, advocacy, and deeper involvement in climate movement. We're excited to start this new chapter and continue driving impactful change.
Hello, my name is Juliana and I am from Fundación Chiriboga, Ecuador. Climate is important to me in many different levels. First of all, it's essential for life. A stable climate ensures access to water, electricity, food, and the beautiful landscapes we enjoy. It's a matter of justice as well. Climate change affects everyone, but the most vulnerable communities, especially those relying on agriculture, suffer the most. Business, healthcare, transportation, and daily life all depend on stable climate. We are part of a system that must stay in balance for us to live peacefully. I have seen clear climate changes in my country. Glaciers melting, water and energy shortages in some months, and floods in others. While these issues impact everyone, vulnerable communities are hit the hardest. If we continue treating the environment as separate from humanity, we won't take meaningful action. We must recognize our deep connection to nature and work toward balance.
Hello, I'm Ariane and I'm part of the climate team. Climate is important for me because it allows people to live and nature to exist and life in general, and which I think is the beautiful and important thing about existence, is to be part of that. But also because it has an effect on everyone, even though it can be provoked only by a few persons, which means that it's very unfair element that we should fight for, because it could affect also the person that did not decide that it would go in some direction, so it reinforces a really unequal dynamic. And I think it also contributes to more destabilizations and to more risk of destabilizations, war and other phenomena, climate migrations, etc. Which is why I think we should all strive to fight for better climate justice and to stop continuing aggravating the situation. That's also one of the parts why I wanted to involve myself in the climate justice team of SCI, because arriving in the SCI organization, I realized that maybe this matter was a bit underused or not appropriated by the SCI members, even though it's a matter that is really related to peace, and because also I do think that if we have a less predatory approach to climate, to nature and to environment, we would also have a less predatory approach in the world as humans coexisting together.